Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Zelnaga Caverns. This is our semi-final matchup for this month's tournament for Alt Starcraft. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a phenomenal matchup here. We have got RSVP from Team Complexity spawning as our red Protoss player up here in the top right, going to be taking on NMx. That's Nightmare, Clan Nightmare, Tapeless, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, who is spawning as our green Terran. And, oh man, Tapeless, such a phenomenal player. This guy has really got an amazing amount of skill, but my goodness, RSVP, scary, scary gentleman here. He is one of the best Protoss players in the world, this guy. And so these guys are trying to battle it out here to make it into the finals this evening, which will take place directly after this best of 5 here. We do have an early scout here from RSVP cruising out across the map, so we'll follow him for just a minute. But I do want to note the difference here in cash prizes. So the loser here will take home only $10 in cash prizes, and the winner will be able to compete for the $30 or the $80 prize between first and second place. So, I mean, there's a big cash difference here. They really, really want to make it into that final there. And obviously first place being the best spot to be in, $80 is not a bad deal here for first place for a small 3-day tournament. But look at this pesky probe from RSVP. My goodness, able to do quite a bit of damage there, and he's forcing his opponent Tapeless here to pull a drone, an SCV. Oh my goodness, this guy gonna be heading out across the map. Look at that, gonna be checking here for pylons. Didn't go in very far though. Note that. I mean, if you put a pylon right here, it may not get scouted. So kind of interesting stuff. But did want to check that out. We do have this barracks about to complete here. And this SCV still in pretty decent health. So yeah, nice looking build here so far from Tapeless. Does have his gas up fairly early, and there goes the command center in great time at 16 SCVs. Looking pretty solid. Boy, RSVP's hero probe, man. This is the angriest probe I've ever seen. He's like, I'm going to kill something. Down goes the cybernetics core. Looks like perfect timing there for RSVP. Fairly standard opener, it looks like. Does have his gas already mining. Not much else going on here quite yet, but we do have another supply depot going down. Looks like we will eventually have a wall off here for Tapeless. And one Marine out on the map now going to be chasing off this scouting probe from RSVP. That guy going to be getting the heck out of there with 0 kills, says a tiny spider. He didn't quite get to kill anything, but he tried hard. You got to give him that. Now, Tapeless working on his factor here, so potentially a 1-1-1 build here. Notice that he's got these Marines placed down his ramp slightly, going to try and prevent any scouting up the ramp. So RSVP knows that there's potentially something up there that he doesn't want him to see, where he would be building just Marines. Of course, he only has 2. Well, he only saw 2. He does have 3, but RSVP may be wary of that, so we'll see if he's going to get any more scouting in. Looks like he is going to be sending off a stalker here to gather some serious intel, but it looks like a zealot already up here at the ramp. Not going to be able to get in here. This wall off is complete. They will not be able to gain vision of this factory and the starport that is indeed going down here. Double gas right now for Tapeless, so probably going to be seeing some Banshees out on the field here in just a little while. And we can see the tech lab going down here, so I imagine we're going to see a little switcheroo. Here comes the stalker. Looks like this guy going to try and get himself a little kill. Back and forth. That Marine doing pretty good. Almost. Going to take some real damage there on this stalker, though. But here comes number 2. RSVP looking to maybe keep just a little bit of pressure on the front door. But seeing all of these Marines lets him know that there is tech behind this, so he will probably be prepared for some potential cloak Banshees. Now notice we did have the switch. Starport is working. Don't have the cloak on the way yet, but he may not need cloak. He may just be going for a Banshee tank push, because you can see that he's got this factory going, or getting a tech lab out immediately. So I'm guessing at this point it is going to be a push, potentially off of one base here, but a bunker going to be going down here, and a lot of stalkers here for RSVP gathering up their forces here and trying to do some damage. Taking down a couple units here and there, not bad. Pesky. Oh, and just barely getting that bunker complete. Really, really big stuff there for Tapeless. Now, check the units lost for just a second. Look at that. 4 workers killed from RSVP right now, killing those guys that were repairing that. So, beautiful play. And units lost total showing that Tapeless indeed down 500 resources. Notice we do have a forward pylon here. We do have a couple gateways out and 2 more on the way. Well, just 1 gateway, actually. But he does have this expand up and running. Going to have a rockin' and rollin' economy. But here's the Banshee for the harass. Is he going to be able to make some serious stuff happen here? Here comes Stalker number 1 to try and deal with this Banshee. Going to have to get 1 up in the space, but instead of 1, he will have 4. Going to be splitting these up. 3 here to deal damage at the main mineral line, and going to be keeping 2 here for protection at the natural. Now, nice expand here. Units tab does show that RSVP is up to 36, now 35, 36 again probes. So looking really solid there. Only 23 SCVs right now, full saturation at his main for Tapeless, but he does have that mule advantage, which will help get rid of some of that economic gap there. So not bad, but we do have, wow, medevac on the field and a whole bunch of Marines, double tanks. Siege Tech has started, should be about complete by the time he makes it across this map. And some SCVs in tow as well. Nice looking push here. Scouted right now by Tapeless. This is very, very good for him. He's really going to need that intel. Really going to need to be prepared for this. And he just doesn't quite have the units out yet. But going to be working on that right away. Getting this Immortal is going to be key. He's really going to need an Immortal here to tank some of that tank damage. You can see that Siege Tech about to be complete, but going to be putting down a bunker immediately and trying to defend this. A nice pull here from RSVP. RSVP going to be taking some probes off the line to try and hold this off. Looking really solid. Taking down that Banshee is pretty good stuff. And the bunker is going to go down. Looks like these Zealots going to be trying to clean house against the tanks, but none of the tanks go down here. But Tapeless is going to have to back out. Did lose this bunker, was unable to make that push stick. So nice push there from Tapeless, but RSVP in phenomenal shape right now. Double Immortals, keeping those Immortals alive is very, very key, especially now that they have that 6 range since that patch, this last patch. Beautiful stuff. But no expand quite yet from Tapeless. You can see in his base he doesn't have anything else going. He's going to retry this attack potentially. We'll see if that's exactly what he's going to do. But cruising out across the field here with a couple more Marines to join this force. But RSVP keeping great map control. And that defense just beautiful. I mean, he is going to have a great time defending here, I think, at this point. Units lost. Let's check. Tapeless is indeed behind. And here comes a push from RSVP. Double Immortals. Looks like he's going to have a 3rd join here in just a moment. Here comes some SCVs. Tank's going to be sieging up here. We do have 2 of these Banshees going to try and make something happen, but notice that RSVP does not want to engage at like a choke or the high ground or anything like that. He wants to try and keep it out in the open where he can potentially get a flank on his opponent. And he's just buying himself time here by keeping this forward position and making his opponent take time to siege up and unsiege. Siege up and unsiege. It's twice he's had to do it now. So great play so far from RCP. You can see that he's got this small force coming in for the flank. Going to be doing a lot of damage here. Looks like RSVP is going to be able to clean this up in pretty decent style. And there's the GG from Tapeless. Game number 1 going to RSVP. Beautiful, beautiful play. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Stick around for game 2. We'll be there in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Shattered Temple. This is going to be a phenomenal Game 2 in this Best of 5, our semifinal matchup of the evening. Right before we go into our finals, one of these guys will be heading into the finals to take on 3 LLL3. That guy's a phenomenal player. Going to be tons and tons of fun. He is a great Zerg player, but one of these guys will be taking him on here in just a moment. Well, actually not in just a moment. They do have a couple games left to be working on, but it is going to be RSVP spawning down here at the 7 o'clock position, 6 o'clock position or so, as Red Protoss. And he is taking on Tapeless, who is our green Terran player here, spawning at right around the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock position. And going to be working on a wall off here right away. Now, it is MLG's version, so they cannot spawn in these close positions here and here. I'm showing you guys here on the mini-map, or here and here. So they will be either, I mean, it is close air positions, I guess, for these two at this point. We'll see if that's going to come into play. Potentially a good thing for Tapeless if he's going to be going for that Banshee harass or anything like that. But we do have this barracks going down for Tapeless in the back of his base. Not up there for a wall off quite yet. And RSVP going to be cruising out in the correct direction here to get some scouting done. And the command center still pumping out some SCVs. Looks like he's going to be gearing up to take his orbital command here right after he gets this SCV out. Going to be working on a Marine as well. And here, yep, there goes the command center, or orbital command rather. And let's take a look. RSVP standard timings here. It does have his cybernetics core going down, as well as this pylon here where he can start warping in units on the low ground potentially. So we may see some early harass. Now I'm interested to see why, because he didn't go for a forge fast expand, which, I mean, against Terran, I guess it's kind of a coin flip if you're going to forge fast expand. Usually that's what you're doing against most of Zergs, but I mean, in this case, this is it's a relatively easy choke here to defend. So we may see some serious early pressure. It's not a bad bet here. Do you have a Marine going to be thwarting some scouting efforts here from RSVP? And we do have barracks number 2 going down for Tapeless. And looks like RSVP just going to be working on his warp gate tech. Does have a chrono ready. We'll see where he's going to put it. That will tell us some decent information about what he's got going here. Nope, chrono boosting out. He is definitely going to be expanding. Going to be putting some early pressure on with stalkers that he's chrono boosting out. So we will expect to see an expand here in just a moment. You can see he's already got his probe poised and ready. And here's a stalker, as well as one zealot. Maybe going to start working on that wall, but Tapeless, it does now have out a tech lab on one of his barracks here. Going to be working on some marauders as well as getting the concussive shell. Absolutely going to be helpful for him. Ooh, Tapeless losing one Marine there, 2 Marines. Nice control there from RSVP. But with this Marauder out, he's really going to be in great shape. Marauder and 4 Marines going to be cruising out across the field, hoping that these stalkers for RCP will stay out of position. However, they will not. These guys are going to be kiting their way back to their base to try and defend. Looks like Tapeless going to try and chase them down. Is he going to be able to get in there and put some pressure on these guys? Another stalker here for RSVP and a zealot on the way. 2 more gates. We do have this Nexus about to be complete as expected. And Tapeless just going to be waiting here for just a moment. Is he going to come in and try and deny this expand? That will be interesting. Ooh, Marines! Get away from that wall. Oh, taking way too much damage there that he didn't have to take. So just a little bit of an error. Looks like he is indeed going to nail down this Nexus. Chalk it up as a kill. Maybe not. Not quite making it happen there. Nice use of these probes here from RSVP, but great kiting here from Tapeless. Keeping these Marauders alive is super key right now. But those Zealots just can take so much damage. It looks like Tapeless will get cleaned out there. RSVP keeping all of these Stalkers alive. I can't even tell you how key that is to the future of his game. Units lost going to show that Tapeless is indeed behind by about 400 minerals, actually exactly 400 minerals. But my goodness, I mean, Tapeless now in this kind of strange position where he is down a base and got to figure out a way to make something happen. He's putting down another barracks here, as well as getting out some medevacs and a tank with this tech lab on the factory. Looks like RSVP going to be backing out here, not going to put any pressure on quite yet. Going to send in a scouting probe, though, and check to... Oh, not going to check yet. Let's check his vision, though. Well, no, it doesn't actually matter, because there's no buildings there for him to scout. Tapeless just hasn't expanded at this point, so RSVP's got to be feeling pretty solid at this point. Has to know that he is ahead and going to be making a safe play here, teching up a little bit, it looks like. Let's see what tech he is going to be going for. Robotics, so definitely going to be some Colossus here in just a bit. Right now he's working on some more, or two of them. 2 observers about to come out, and a nice rock and economy. Going to be taking down these rocks while he has some time here to himself, and go ahead and secure a third potentially. But this is beautiful, beautiful play. Tapeless going to have to make something happen here. I mean, he's staying on this one base play, choosing to not expand here, and so really his next push is going to have to make something big happen, do some damage economically to his opponent. Otherwise, he's going to find himself way, way behind and unable to win this game. So he is gearing up here, taking quite a few SCVs, and a decent-looking push here. 3 tanks, siege tech is complete, and RCP just barely catching wind of that movement, so I'm hoping that he understands that it's coming. Looks like he definitely knows now. He does see that with this probe. But here comes Tapeless. Got to try and make this stick right here, right now. If he cannot do that, he's going to find himself so far behind that it's just going to be difficult to come back in this matchup. Now it is game 2, and Tapeless down 1 game, so this could be a brutal, brutal, brutal situation for him. And tank's going to be sieging up. Here comes the Colossus. Oh, the Colossus getting sniped. And Tapeless now in pretty decent shape. That Colossus was super key there for RCP, unable to keep that sucker alive, and it looks like all of these tanks are going to live. They are probably going to start leapfrogging forward here in just a moment. Now, oh, and look at this, a bunker going to be going down, and Tapeless very serious about holding this position, putting his opponent back on 1 base. Now, the mining has stalled here. These probes are still alive. However, RSVP going to be trying to mass up some units here and mount an attack. You can see he's going to be trying to take this from both sides here. It looks like this bunker is about to complete. Notice that Tapeless trying to secure that. Can he hold on? And it looks as though he will. Too many tanks to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. This Raven doing a great job here. Going to be able to spot that high ground. Needs to send it over there right now before this Immortal gets too many tank kills. Nice play there from RSVP, trying very, very desperately to hold on here. But nice looking push here from Tapeless. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Getting another tank sieged up here. Double tanks. This one could probably move forward. Otherwise, he's just going to be wasting his shots down here in this area, and that is definitely less than useful at this point. But RSVP going to be taking a lot of damage. Looks like these guys not going to be focusing down pylons or anything. They're going straight for the warp gates. Going to stop that production in its tracks. Beautiful, beautiful play. Looks like these guys are definitely going to be going down, and RSVP going to be hard-pressed at this point to make it happen. Here comes his last-ditch effort. A lot of zealots here pulling all sorts of probes, waiting for that Colossus to come out. Here it comes. Is he going to be able to make this stick? This Immortal taking a lot of those shots from the tanks. Beautiful, beautiful play, but there's the GG from RSVP, and Tapeless taking down Game 2. My goodness, this is going to be shaping up to be a phenomenal matchup. Game 3 is on the way, though, ladies and gentlemen, so don't alt-tab. Always, always alt Starcraft. It is coming your way here in just a moment. We will see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Tal'Darim Altar. It is Tapeless going up against RSVP in game number 3. This is just a phenomenal matchup, and it is going to be on a very, very large map here at the request of RSVP, since he did lose that last game. And it is Tal'Darim Altar, as we said, so he probably feeling pretty comfortable on this map. It is a very, very nice map for Blink Stalker play, and Protoss in general, sometimes there's a couple abuses that you can use. I'll run through just a couple of them real quick. One of them is you can put off of 2 base, you get an observer, blink stalkers, and sentries. You get an observer to spot the high ground here at your opponent's natural. Put all of your sentries right here. Blink your stalkers up right here. Move them right to this position. And then annihilate their mineral line. And as your opponent comes to get you, do not back out. You force field with your sentries in this little arc area, keeping your guys safe, and it is just wonderful, wonderful play, keeping those stalkers safe. And then when it gets too heavy, you can go ahead and back out, but you can do a lot of damage that way. And then obviously this back door here, you can blink up into this if you can gain vision of the high ground. But there's tons and tons of abuses that Protoss can use on this map. So my guess is that is why he chose it. We'll see if he's going to utilize any of those in this matchup. It's going to be opening with, looks like to be a fairly standard opener. Got his gateway going down. Tapeless doing about the same thing. Does have his barracks here about 50% complete. Lucky for RSVP, scouting in the correct direction here. And Tapeless going to be scouting in the incorrect direction. Going to be taking just a little while to gather some intel from RSVP. But here comes the scout. Now I'm guessing at this point that Tapeless will know where his opponent is, so he'll probably reroute right across the map. Maybe. I say that and then maybe he won't. But no, he is. Looks like he is. But the scouting probe here, going to be gathering some intel, does see the barracks, does see that it is now producing a Marine, and knows that it is about to be go time. Time to head back to home base, and indeed he is. There is the cybernetics core for RSVP. Notice just 1 gas so far, and we don't have a second, which means we're not going to be going into a tech rush quite yet. So just going to be sticking with at least gateway units and not tons of sentries. So we'll see what he's got for us. Where is this guy going? Oh, he's looking for hidden tech, I think, already. Wow. Tapeless looking around the map pretty heftily right now. But Tapeless is going to be securing an expand right now. I think this is a great time. Going to be tossing down a bunker here. Not a bad idea. Do have a Marine here for defense as he builds the bunker. And going to be a couple more Marines coming out here. We do... Oh, wow. He was supplied back there for half a second. Well, talk about timing. I mean, this guy... not wasting a second, so beautiful stuff. Chrono Boost going to be going down on the stalkers, which we've come to expect from RSVP. Doesn't seem to like to 4-gate. I don't blame him. 4-gates can really put you behind potentially if it's held off too well. And Zealot going to be cruising up here. Bunker now is complete. This Zealot saying, I'm getting the heck out of there. He did lose 8 of his HP, but he will recharge 50 of his shield here in just a little while. But it is going to be RSVP's turn to back out and take an expand. And down goes the expand. Looking like a pretty decent time here. 5 minutes is not bad at all. And probably just going to be probing up here for just a moment. He did see that his opponent was taking the expand, so it was good scouting there with that Zealot. And Tapeless going to be working on triple barracks. Does have his second gas. And looks like another bunker going to go down here for Tapeless. Give me just a second. I need to get something to drink. Thank you for your patience. And we do have some hidden tech from RSVP, and it is going to be Dark Templar. That is fun. We'll see if Tapeless is going to have any detection out other than his scans. Looks like he is utilizing a lot of energy right now on his mules. So it will come down to timing. If he gets lucky and has just enough energy for a scan when DTs show up, then he should be in pretty decent shape. If not, he could potentially take some serious losses. Now we do have an engineering bay going down. That is going to open up some new tech patterns here for Tapeless, including missile turrets. So probably going to see a missile turret. A lot of Terran players these days, just when they put bunkers down, they just always toss down a missile turret right behind it, right in this position somewhere right in here, which is just wonderful play, especially against Protoss. The last thing you want is to just get annihilated by DT, because when it comes down to it, it's relatively easy to hold off if you've got your detection. So, but without it, obviously, death commences. So we do have, let's check the unit stat for a moment. 37 probes for RSVP. Tapeless kicking at his heels with 31 SCVs, but he does have that mule advantage. But here, now look at that. He just spent his energy, and here comes a DT. There goes the missile turret. This guy going to be cruising into the mineral line. Let's watch how many kills this guy's going to get. 2. How many kills did that guy get? 5 so far. Wonderful, wonderful play so far from RSVP. These DTs making a world of difference. 8 kills on this one DT right now. Notice RSVP keeping these guys split up. Down goes one, but he's going to have to work on another. And this is just killing Tapeless right now. He's taking so much mining time away from Tapeless right now that it's just going to become brutal, brutal, brutal. Here comes another DT into the base. My goodness. Cannot get a missile turret down for the life of him. There goes a scan. Is going to take down another. There he goes, but there's still one back here in the back. And this is just brutal, brutal, brutal here for Tapeless. Is he going to have enough energy for another scan? I don't know. It does not look good. That is for sure. Oh, wow. Does have some detection up, but not in his main. His main's still very much at risk at this point. Oh, and this one escaping. It's going to take one more scan to get this guy dead. And look at what RSVP is doing behind this. He is going to be securing his third, looking really solid. Notice he's already taken out destructible rocks to make this happen. And let's watch. I mean, look at all these DTs now warping into the base here from the backside. And there it is, GG from Tapeless. RSVP's DT harass proving to be too much in game number 3. We'll be going to game number 4 here in just a second, so don't alt-tab. Stay exactly where you are, and we will be there in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Shakuris Plateau. And this is Game 4 in this semifinal matchup between Tapeless and RSVP. These guys really at each other. Lots of back and forth. Phenomenal games. RSVP currently up 2 games. Well, up 1 game against his opponent, but 2-1. So, I mean, pressure is on Tapeless at this point. He cannot lose another match. He's got to go 2 games in a row now to take down this this best of 5. And if he does not do that, RSVP will be going into the finals to play LLL, also known as 3. That guy's going to be tons and tons of fun. But, oh man, I don't know what to think about this matchup right now. I mean, it's giving me chills. Just the way, I mean, the execution there from RSVP with that DT. Wow. I mean, that is tons and tons of fun. It's so difficult to make that happen sometimes against your Terran opponents, but he just really kept those guys split up, forcing him to use a lot of scans and keeping his opponent from mining. Just beautiful play. I mean, what can we say? But other than RCP really showing a lot of strength tonight. And we do have a wall off going down for Tapeless. Does have his barracks going down ASAP. And RSVP going to be warping in this this gateway. And here comes the scouting probe from RSVP. Headed in the correct direction. Yet again, lots of good lucky scouting from RSVP. But he also knows his maps. Notice he did not scout this top position. Your opponent on this map, they cannot spawn in this position if you're down here. So he knows to only look in these 2 spots for his opponent. So always be mindful when you're playing those MLG maps in a tournament. You gotta know that stuff. It saves you so much time. Do have a pylon up here on the high ground. Can be very, very useful for warping things outside your base. Tapeless going to be scouting his opponent here. Lucky scout there again for Tapeless, or finally for Tapeless. I guess he's went the wrong direction a couple times, but not bad. He is going to be in his opponent's base, gathering just a little bit of intel. And Cybernetics Core is going down, but look at this. Tapeless going to be taking an expand. Now, did RSVP see that? Let's check his vision. Yes, he did. He indeed saw it. Is going to be backing this probe out away from the Marine, but we'll see what his response is going to be to this. Chrono boosting out now his Stalker. And here comes a Zealot. This guy going to be cruising out across the map. They're going to try and put some pressure on to Tapeless base, but Tapeless going to be putting down a bunker immediately. Wants to make that happen. Excuse me. So that he can hold off any of this early aggression from Tapeless with Stalkers, which you've seen so many times. RCP always seems to put on good pressure with his Stalkers. And Tapeless should be ready for this by the time that first Stalker gets there. There it goes right there. Look at that. He's already turning around. Where's he going? He saw. So he's just looking around for stuff. But here comes the scouting SCV from Tapeless. Going to be cruising around here. Just sees the one gateway, so potentially going to try and put some pressure on. Notice that he does have a lot of racks in production. Could do a decent amount of damage here early in the game with a nice push. We'll see if he's going to try that out, because right now RSVP's unit production capabilities are very, very low with just one gateway. He is definitely going to be remedying that, though. This moment, there goes gateway number 2. We can expect to see a couple more here, I think, in just a moment. Looks like the scout from Tapeless is going to go down, and indeed he does. But good looking play so far from both of these players. We do have this bunker down. It's chock full of Marines. Decent looking defense here at the natural for Tapeless. Unloading him. Uh-oh. We are going to see a little bit of movement here. Now notice that RSVP keeping a probe in a great position there to scout any movement from his opponent's base, so he knows this is coming at this moment, is going to be working on getting out some more units. Got a robotics facility here on the way, but only 2 gateways at this point. So may end up having to pull just a few probes. Notice he did get a sentry in, though. Any force fielding here is going to be helpful to choke these guys down. And that, yeah, should be pretty decent. Well, he has 2 sentries, so he could potentially do a good force field here, but looks like these Marines are going to have to back out. Oh, the SCV's going down, and great force fields here from RSVP. Oh, this, how did this SCV live? There he goes. There he goes. He is dead now, but these Marines going to be getting in here, trying to make something happen. Is this going to be enough, though? It does not look like it. We've got a lot of Stalkers here. Tapeless looking to just kind of throw these units away here, I think, to force his opponent to really commit to some defensive units, having to pull a lot of probes here as well. So nice looking attack here from Tapeless. He's definitely going to be slowing RSVP down. These Zealots warping in, those are going to be super useful here for just a moment. Marines, though, are going to be working on those Stalkers. Did not get both of them taken down. There's still one remaining, but nice looking play there. Let's check the units tab and see where we're at economically. RSVP not too bad, though, on his economy. He's making it through that with 37 probes, now up to 38. 34 SCVs here for Tapeless, as well as the Mule advantage, so he's still in great shape there. And in production, let's take a look. We do have a factory going down here for Tapeless, as well as a missile turret. This time not going to get caught off guard with any DT tech running up his main, or right up this entrance here, so nice play there from Tapeless. Got to do it, I think, and it's just one of those things that you've got to do, to be careful of, unless you've got perfect scouting or something. But a lot of people doing that these days. Just go ahead and tossing down your detection against Protoss. You just got to do it early game. And it makes a big difference. But look at this. Mass Marines cruising out across the field here yet again. Now we do have an Observer Scout in the base. Is going to see the starport play. Sees the reactor going down on the factory, so knows that we're going to be getting out a lot of medevacs. There's the Observer. Did scout that movement. Look at that. RSVP turned around. He's like, we better check and see how many that is. It is only Marines, however, and so he is going to be gearing himself up for defense against Marines. And look what he does. He says, let's split their army. with some sentries. Got 4 sentries out here on the field, keeping these zealots in the back just in case they do bust up the ramp completely. Oh wow, it looks like RSVP going to go engage here. He does have his first Colossus out on the field, so looking really, really solid. These Marines going to have a bad day if they do not get the heck out of the way here in just a moment. But Tapeless is going to be expanding here, taking a third, and here comes the engagement. Marines, oh, force fields! And a lot of Marines going down there in a blazing fire thanks to these Colossus with their thermal lance. Alright, Marauders in the bunkers, and Marines going to be cruising up to the high ground here. Is RSVP going to try and make this attack stick? It appears as a maybe. I don't know. It does look like a maybe. But it's going to be sending out a probe here and warping units down to the low ground, so it looks like he is going to try and push here. Going to get some reinforcements over there and try and make something happen. Notice we've got this factory here for Tapeless cruising out across the map, going to gather some intel, while RSVP trying to keep his opponent closed in on these 2 bases. However, he does not know that there is already a third going down here for Tapeless. Oh, but look at this. RSVP looking to back out here. Does see this factory. Oh, wow. Oh, he scouted him! Oh, Tapeless really could be dropping here and annihilating the Colossus. Almost got a Colossus kill there. If it was just a little bit closer, he could have done it. But it looks like this factory did make it out of there alive somehow, just because RSVP did have to refocus his attention. But we do have a decent number of Vikings here. These are really going to help counter those Colossus, and going to be getting up a decent amount of Marauders. He already has +1 attack out for these guys, getting his combat shield upgrade as well as infantry armor level 1. This is looking pretty solid, like very, very solid play here from Tapeless. Saturating his third. He's now up and running on his third. RSVP working on a third of his own. Looks to be a little over 50% complete, but here comes a drop. However, RSVP, very, very good scouting with his observer, is going to see that. Not going to let that happen. Look at that. He's just following these guys. Here comes a push from RSVP. Going to be at least maintaining some map control here. Ooh, almost getting the snipe on that poor little observer. Looks like these guys are tired of this factory hanging over their heads. Probably going to go ahead and take it down. But giving up a lot of information here. Showed the number of Colossus that he has. Nice looking force here from Tapeless Air in the center of the map. Working on Terran ships, weapons, level 1. Interesting. And infantry weapons level 2. Going to be getting some serious upgrades. Does have his third. Cruising. Probably going to see a fourth here from Tapeless here in just a little bit. Wants to gauge his opponent's army size maybe a little bit better and try and be prepared for that. But here comes a push, actually. Maybe he's feeling comfortable at this point with what he's seen from his opponent. A good number of Vikings here. These guys are definitely going to be able to deal the damage they need to against these Colossus. 4 Colossus out on the field. Going to essentially be negated here, especially if Tapeless can keep his Marines and Marauders in a split up and out of the way of these Colossus, not taking the full force of that line damage that thermal lance does. But looks like we're going to see a denial of the third here. Wow, beautiful stuff. And RSVP going to be coming up for the flank, stimming around here, going to be brutalizing some stuff, but he is going to be up on the high ground. However, these Colossus going to be going down fairly quickly. Is Tapeless going to be able to make this attack stick? But these charged lots actually doing a lot of damage here. And Tapeless having to back up onto this ramp. Stim going down here yet again. Ooh, nice force fields there from RSVP. Looks like he's probably going to be able to clean this up. Tapeless still going to be working at it, though. He does have these medevacs, which will make the longevity of these guys that much longer. But a flank here from a charged lot. Wow. Tapeless, though, still pushing this attack. Just going to let all of this stuff do its stuff, do its duty. And here comes even more reinforcements for this attack. He's dead serious about taking down this expansion, streaming units out across the map here. Look at this from Tapeless. Serious, serious, serious. And now he's focusing down the Nexus. The tide is actually turning here very, very quickly. Those reinforcements getting there just in time, making this very, very difficult for RSVP to deal. Now, we do have these Vikings here in the main, but I don't know if that is the best place for them. Maybe they will start to land or something and do some damage there, but we'll have to check back in on them in just a moment. Looks as though RSVP may be able to clean up here. He did get out an Immortal. That's going to be super effective against these Marauders, but the Marauders are backing out here at light speed. And, oh, look at this. Landing these Vikings in the mineral line, focusing down a couple probes there, getting a couple kills, and now going to be taking off and getting the heck out of there. Great, great play right now from Tapeless. Beautiful stuff. And notice that he's just got units all over the map. His map control right now is absolutely sickening. RSVP going to be trying to secure his fourth here. I know he knows he's got to stay aggressive economically to stay in this game. Got to have that economy. And look at this. The harassment continues here from Tapeless. Going to have to get out of there. Oh, he's going to lose quite a few of these. Looks like that one going to go down as well. Only 2 of these units living through that. Now let's take a look at his force. Tapeless does have, oh, look at all these medevacs, and we are about to see drops like crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Got to love your drops. Press 1 out on the live stream if you love drops. It doesn't matter what race. You can love them from any race. But Tapeless still trying to keep his opponent, you know, in his base, trying to defend against these very, very pesky Vikings here. And here comes a drop, it looks like, from Tapeless. And unfortunately for him, he is going to run right up on top of Archons. Archons there ready, waiting for a drop. RSVP's game sense there working extremely well. And look at this. Wow, this Viking going to be landing here, stalling the mining here at the 3rd. Looking really, really solid. Oh, Viking is going to die there. Too bad. Almost got a kill on a High Templar, which would have been a nice snipe. And Mystic Strider, a Tiny Spider. Tiny Spider doesn't much care for drops apparently, but Mystic Strider does. He says they are fun as well. I agree with you, brother. Here comes a drop. Medevac here, pretty stinking full. Going to be taking out a decent number of probes there, but now focusing down some stalkers and going to get out of here, it looks like. Maybe with a couple of these guys still alive. Oh, blink forward and taking them all down. Great control there from RSVP. Here comes another drop in the back of the main. Going to be taking down some units here. Here comes a Colossus with some Zealots. It's time to get the heck out of there if your name is Tapeless. Is he going to save these guys? Yeah, kind of. But look at charged lots. Mass lots, a good amount of Archons right now in RSVP's army. He is maxed out, but trying very, very desperately to keep defenses up at all of his bases at once, and Tapeless being super pesky here. Beautiful play. Is going to be backing out here. Both of these guys maxed out and going to be working on upgrades. Notice Terran Infantry Armor level 3 is on the way. We've got Personal Cloaking just now completing, so we are going to see some good ghost play here. Look at all these ghosts. Oh my goodness, look at those ghosts. Units tab shows 12 ghosts total. My goodness, and here comes the push from Tapeless. Both of these guys floating quite a bit of minerals right now because they are maxed out, and they're going to be able to re-macro an army up off this, so this is really, really beautiful late game play here. Here comes the stim, flanking from both sides. RSVP tried to make this happen, but, oh wow, Tapeless. Excuse me, my goodness, Tapeless with the stim. Absolutely able to obliterate RSVP's army, and RSVP is about to lose and expand, and this is game-changing. RSVP now on his back here in game number 4. Tapeless potentially going to be able to take this down? RSVP cannot lose this expand here. You notice that he is warping in everything he can at this moment to try and make the stick. Great Storm's going down here. Is it going to be enough? Got a lot of charged lots, but look at this. Tapeless bringing out all of the stops, landing his Vikings and everything he's got here to try and make this happen. Notice he is starting to stream units out across the map, and there's the GG from RSVP. Tapeless taking down game number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going to game number 5 to see who will move on to the finals tonight. Talk about pressure between these two players. Beautiful field stuff. We will see you guys in just a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack, and we have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Metalopolis. So we started on this map and going to end on this map tonight. That is an interesting choice here from RSVP, but this is probably one of the most widely played maps in the world. And most people, for them, it's a good fallback because they just understand the map so well. And it's actually not terribly intricate map, but it's got some wonderful, unique things about it that just make it a really great balanced map to play. So RSVP going to be choosing that now. He is spawning here at the 2 o'clock position as our red Protoss. And close air positions, we do find Tapeless as our green Terran, who is currently working on a wall off with supply depots. RSVP looking to put his pylon here closer to his nexus than the ramp at this point, but that is okay. Not necessarily a big deal. I mean, you don't really need to wall off against Terran. So, but props to Jubeo, who has answered 5 questions in our dollar questions tonight correctly, doing a phenomenal job there. That has been tons of fun. I think we've had a good time with that. Let me know. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. If you guys like that, I'm definitely going to continue it. So tell me if you think that's been fun, if we should continue. But Tapeless now working on his barracks. And a gateway here for RSVP. And a scout from RSVP. So here comes the probe, and look at that, headed in the correct direction. Knows that he cannot spawn at the 6 o'clock position, so it's got to be one of these top 2 bases. The closest one is going to be this one. And Tapeless now are going to be heading out to gather some scouting intel as well. Oh my goodness, this SCV looking for that probe right off the bat. He says, bring it on, brother. And another one going to be taking his place with full HP. Notice Tapeless switching those guys out. Oh, and look at that probe going to try and take down a supply depot. Now, supply depots do have 400 HP, so that is going to take him just a little while. Does not appear that Tapeless is too concerned about it. Sending out a Marine here to deal with it, and the scout for Tapeless in the base of RSVP still. Notice no Zealot on the way. So we're probably going to be going straight for a Stalker here as soon as the Cyber Core completes. And look at this early gas. So maybe going to see some either DTs or a lot of sentries. Pylon going down, forward pylon here for RSVP. I'm interested to see what he's doing here. This is a slightly different build, so this doesn't look like hidden tech pylon placement to me. This looks more like a forward pylon, so it makes me want to say, oh, maybe he's going for a 4-gate. But, I mean, I guess this would be one of the last places to look. Oh, look at this. It is going to be hidden tech. We're going to see a Stargate, and that is why he's going to need that additional gas. This is going to be an interesting play here from RSVP. Now, is Tapeless going to be prepared for this? Notice he's taking a command center here fairly early and going to be tossing down another barracks, which he's definitely going to need a lot of Marines to make this happen. Going to be putting down a bunker here, but mobility is what he needs most. Stim would be in order, that is for sure. Going to be putting down another barracks. Tapeless trying his best to get defenses up here along with expanding at the same time, and it is going to be mass Marine, probably going to mix in a couple Marauders, but a nice looking play I'd say so far from Tapeless. Just will be interesting to see how these Void Rays are going to do. And notice the first one is being chronoed out right now. We do have Warp Gate Tech going to be completing here in just a little bit, and Gateway number 2 on the way. And here comes a Stalker cruising out across the field, going to join up with this Stalker and a forward pylon here. So this attack going to be commencing here in just a moment. We do have this Void Ray about to pop out, and we're going to see an attack, I think. Is he going to queue up another one? Is he going to queue up another one? Maybe not. Probably going to use it for a warp in then, maybe? Here comes the Void Ray. Let's see how many kills this guy can get. Marine's going to be trying to take these guys down, but these Stalkers and this Void Ray combo, brutal, brutal, brutal. Like this bunker placement here for Tapeless, that is definitely going to come in key here. And warp-ins here for RSVP. Has he queued up another? Yes, he does. His Void Ray number 2 about to be here. Solid, solid play here right now. Oh, Tapeless taking quite a few losses. Got to get these guys in the bunker. Bunker about to complete. It just needs one more SCV. There we go. Get in that bunker. Get in that bunker. And in they go. Looks like a pretty decent defense here for just a moment. This Void Ray going to be working on some SCVs from the other side. But here comes these Marines to try and chase him off. Do we have Blink on the way? Nope. So no Blink yet, but we do have an expand from RSVP right now, which is nice looking play. Going to lose that supply depot here. Probably could go ahead and toss these guys in the bunker, but RSVP just being as pesky as he can right now. Taking out supply depots, great job there. Tapeless just having to rely on his bunkers right now. Oh, needed a little bit more repair on that bunker. That bunker did go down, and that is a brutal, brutal loss at this point. RSVP gearing up for his expand here in the back. Looks like it is going to be complete. It's about 50% done right now. Oh no, this bunker not going to go down. RSVP now gearing up to be in a superior lead. And just too much to deal with here. Lots and lots of voids, lots and lots of stalkers here for support. And these voids, I mean, my goodness, they've done a lot of damage. Look at that. I mean, these guys are so close to being dead, but 12 kills on that one, 5 on that one. Ouch is all I can say there. And Tapeless just trying desperately to get out enough SCVs or Marines to make this happen. Look at that. There's the GG, and RSVP takes it down. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving on into the finals here in just a bit. This has been a phenomenal matchup. Tapeless, what a wonderful player. We are definitely going to miss your gameplay here, brother, in the finals, but it is going to be RSVP taking on 3. So don't alt-tab, stay exactly where you are. We'll be going into that here in just a bit.